Hello and welcome to another episode of the All Nations Church podcast with me, James Aubrey, and I'm joined by my good friends Dave Patterson.
Hello, everyone.
And Kier Adams.
Hello, hello.
Because we've got together for our very first Christmas special.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And because we're feeling extra festive, we have got a special guest as well with us today.
Special.
Very special indeed. And it's our good friend Emma Scott, who... Say hello, Emma.
Hello, hello.
Those of you who come to All Nations who have been regularly will know that Emma is part of the team that leads our children's work here at All Nations Church, and a big fan of everything festive.
Yes, actual elf.
Actual elf.
Yes,
elf.
fact.
You're probably the most festive of all us at the moment, Emma, because you're probably slap bang in the middle of helping kids rehearse for Christmas nativities, etc.
Yeah, I'm basically buried under a pile of tinsel, but what a great place to be.
Absolutely. We're actually going to do two podcasts for you, faithful listeners. We're going to break the Christmas tradition down into kind of two component parts. So in this first episode, we're going to kind of talk just together about some of our favourite aspects of Christmas tradition. So this is going to be slightly lighter in tone. You know, we're going to be talking about family traditions and food and
food.
Yeah.
Christmas movies, Christmas books and music, that kind of stuff. So it'll be very lighthearted. So if that's not your bag, feel free to skip on ahead or wait another 7 days when our because we don't
join our club.
Yeah, we don't. Well, I was going to say we don't offer a club yet, do we? We're not ever going to offer club listeners, just to be absolutely certain. But and then in our next episode, we're going to talk at length about the true meaning of Christmas, the Christmas story and what it means to us. We're going to pack up some different passages from the Bible that mean something to us personally about the Christmas story. And we'll talk a little bit about our favourite Christmas carols and bits and pieces like that as well. So, without further ado, where should we begin? Well, let's first of all describe what I can see in front of me. So, you've got...
Vista.
For those of you listening, you're missing on the chance of seeing Dave Patterson dressed as Arthur Christmas.
Yep.
Someone's took a photo of that though, right?
Yeah, I've taken
I've
photos of it.
got
We're going to
Great.
post that
Good.
online.
Publicly
I'm just
available.
missing the flashing slippers. That's
Yeah,
all
but a
that's
fantastic
Yeah.
elf costume. Kier and I have come as exactly the same elf,
Christmas
haven't we? The Christmas twins.
It's very cute.
We're wearing matching Christmas jumpers.
Very
We didn't swap notes on this, but hey ho.
No.
And Emma, as she's already told you, is buried in a mound of tinsel.
Yeah,
Russell,
special.
So let's dive on in. So in fact, Emma, you're with us for the first time, so we'll ask you first.
Brilliant.
What comes into your mind when you think of Christmas? What does Christmas mean to you?
Quite a lot of chaos
Okay.
and noise, and lots of tacky decorations, all the good food.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 people at all times, and every event under the sun, and you can sleep in January.
Okay.
But it's just the best time of the year.
And do you have any particularly striking family traditions that?
Yeah, you have to watch Muppets Christmas Carol on Christmas Eve, sat on the sofa while eating crumpets with cheese on and a bag of Christmas chocolate coins.
Okay.
And that is like a non-negotiable.
That's so
I
niche.
was going to say,
Yeah.
niche is the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
And very specific, to the point where when we were, I'd love to say kids, but let's be honest, teenagers, me and my sister used to get fuming if at school they started trying to show Muppets Christmas Carol. You know, on like one of those days where it's getting near Christmas and the
Yep.
teachers just put a movie on.
Yep. Yeah.
If they put on Christmas Carol, me and Jan would genuinely ask to leave the room or
Can't have
like,
it ruined.
can I do
Ruin
something
it.
else? Can I
Too
put my
soon.
headphones on? Because we were just outraged that anyone would watch that before Christmas Eve.
Okay, so you'd only watch it on Christmas Eve.
We watch it once a year
once a year and on
and it's
Christmas Eve. On like, and then did you go from like cassette to DVD to streaming, or how does it go?
Still have it on DVD.
Okay.
Because it is a bit of a
Just in
ritual,
case,
like
yeah.
getting the DVD out,
Yeah.
opening the
Oh.
box,
Yeah.
doing all the thing. But so my mum initiated this tradition with us when we were young, and we have now spread it to all the other people. So like my dad's side of the family and all my siblings down there, and my nieces, and like my kids now, and my sister's kids. Everyone, Christmas Eve, like now on the family WhatsApp, it's, are you guys ready? Yeah, we've already got it on. Or those with toddlers, start it a bit earlier. Those who are a bit older, but everyone, are you prepared? Like sending pictures of everyone sat with their chocolate coins.
Wow.
My mum,
Oh, wow.
when you move out or when you get your own family, she sends you a copy on DVD so that you are
that's
prepared.
Wow,
So
proper
Mum,
sweet.
that's
I think
That
it's so
is-
there's no excuse.
Well, thank you. That's really helpful.
That's okay. Now you know the correct thing to do on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, we're not allowed to call you Mr. Christmas.
You're not allowed
to call you Mr. Christmas. But Christmas is very different for you because you're a family of 5 and you have 3 birthdays in Christmas week, don't you?
Mm.
We do.
So Christmas must feel slightly different for you from the rest of us.
Yeah, our Christmas tradition in that sense is trying to rework out every year what our Christmas traditions are going to be. That is a Christmas tradition. Because every year we kind of go, how on earth are we going to sustain party for this week? So my wife Naomi, her birthday's on the 20th. So that normally tends to be a little bit of a quieter affair. We can kind of hand off the children to her dad, and we tend to do a little something for her then. Then on the 24th, it's my birthday, so I've not done Muppets Christmas Carol. I'm sorry, Emma, but we do keep it super, super simple. I'm very chill for my birthday. I really don't mind what we do. I usually like to get outside and do something, but in the evening, I really like to do party food. Chuck it in the oven. You know, who doesn't want a wonton on your birthday? Just fantastic. And yeah, and then our second daughter, Aria, is born on Christmas Day. So each year we kind of get to October, November and start looking ahead and going, what are we going to do for Aria this year? She's going to be 4 this year, which means she actually knows what's happening. So please write in with some ideas because that is our Christmas tradition. What will our traditions be this year?
Cool. Have you thought of like a summer Christmas or a summer birthday party?
Do you know what I had that? So my parents treated me like the Queen.
Nice. Yeah, two birthdays a year.
2 birthdays. Yeah. So I got a present, or we do something as a family in the summer.
Nice.
When things are a little bit calmer, a little bit more cheerful. So we did a little bit of that last year, and I think we'll probably end up doing that with Ari going.
I also have a picture of you dressed up like the Queen in one of like her like rain shawls. Yeah,
that's not a thing.
Since you said I'm treated like the Queen, I just imagine
when you
you're
said
down
I
the
have a
beach
picture,
dressed.
I thought you meant you actually owned a picture. Then I was like, yes. Also,
No, that would
we'll
have
need
been
to be seeing
amazing.
that.
And you, Kier, what comes into your mind when you think of Christmas? What's your tradition?
Traditions. Funny enough, so I'm fairly newly married, so this is going to be our 3rd Christmas together. So we were actually just having this conversation this past week about like what are some traditions that we want to instigate. Still like experiencing each other's family's traditions and having fun, kind of realizing, oh, you do it totally wrong, or oh, you do it wrong, you know. So a lot of the conversations we've had, some of them have gone around Muppets Christmas Carol, because that is a go-to for me.
Absolutely.
Although I will be honest, for me that is a Christmas Day evening tradition.
Okay,
So,
yeah, that's
like,
fine.
yeah. So
As long as you have a time slot, that's okay.
Okay.
yeah, it fits in there. So, but one thing we realised, a lot of the traditions that I grew up on centred around Christmas Eve.
Nice.
So Christmas Eve is actually my favourite of the Christmas days.
That's my
Nice.
dad's favourite day of the
Is
year.
it?
Yeah.
Well, I think that there's so much anticipation in that day.
Yeah.
So I feel most Christmassy then.
Yeah.
One of my favourite traditions I had growing up was me and my friends would actually every Christmas Eve morning we would go to a Greasy Spoon diner.
Lovely.
And it began with 4 of us. And I think by the time we had finished, about a decade later, we had to call and book, and they knew who we were because there was about 30 of us showing up to this Greasy Spoon on Christmas Eve. So that was quite a special tradition, but it definitely revolves a lot around food, doing some exercise so that we can go back and have more food, and then just waiting until we can have a bit more food as well. That maybe that's just how I see it. I don't know.
That's so nice though that you have a tradition like with your friends, because
Yeah,
I think
it's
so
really nice.
much of it is linked back to like your parents or your kids or whatever. So it's really nice to build in those
Yeah.
traditions where you go, otherwise there's so much scrambling, isn't there, in December going, oh, we've got to see these people and I want to hang out with these, and it's people who you love and you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
But just the space, where is the space?
Yeah,
So
and-
building that in as a concrete moment.
Absolutely, and we definitely found that as time went on, as people got a bit older, and we were kind of in that sweet spot of people would leave because they had their lives in different parts of the country maybe, but they'd still be back in Swansea where I grew up visiting family, so it kind of became a bit of a non-negotiable.
Yeah, lovely.
Like we all come together for that, that was a very, very nice time. So I think Christmas Eve was my tradition time. I always used to like going to like a midnight carol service as well to kind of see Christmas in.
Nice.
Come on, James, paint for us an Aubrey.
Yeah.
Well, there's been many Aubrey Christmases now. We're quite fairly established. I mean, I've got Christmas with teenagers this year, which should be an interesting one. Lots of food, growing up, my parents really kind of closed ranks at Christmas. So it was always just the four of us, me, my sister, and them. And we have kind of followed a similar pattern, I think, now that Saskia and I are married with our 4 kids. So like Kier mentioned, Christmas Eve is a really special day, and you kind of get quite excited about the rest of the Christmas season. Although that was different 2 years ago when Saskia got a call from a supermarket in Cardiff, whose name we won't mention, offering her some spare turkeys that she could give out to the poor at 8 o'clock on Christmas Eve morning, and Saskia went to get them, and when she got there were 200 turkeys.
Oh my goodness.
So that was quite a busy Christmas Eve distributing turkeys, but they all got given away. It was pretty special.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my favourite Christmas tradition at the moment actually is not to do with food or movies, although we'll talk about food movies in a second. My current favourite Christmas tradition is one that's kind of happened over the last couple of years, which is that my folks tend to come to us for a dinner on the Christmas Eve, and my wife normally makes a ham, but my mum always buys everybody a new pair of pyjamas
Nice.
for Christmas Eve. It's
Yeah,
like a
nice.
Christmas Eve present.
Nice.
And so what's happened over the last couple of years is that our kids go nuts for this, and they put their Christmas pyjamas on, and we've got into the habit of them sitting on our stairs, and we take a picture of them. And so the wallpaper on my phone every year is my kids on the stairs at Christmas Eve
nice.
Nice,
wearing
yeah.
their Christmas pyjamas. And
Lovely.
so I must have like 4 or 5, maybe 6 of these pictures now, just of them each year, and they pretty much sit in the same order. But you just see how they've grown over each year. So I know that's a really novel, niche little thing, but that's my number one favourite Christmas tradition now, is that moment where we get to take a picture of the kids in their new pyjamas.
It's like the football
That's
team
good.
photo at the end
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah,
exactly.
Someone holding a mince pie or something in the middle.
Yeah, and I won't be sharing that because my teenage daughter will kill me. And my kids told me this morning at breakfast that they listen to the podcast. My son likes to listen just in case I make a mistake so that he can tell me about it afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a
Yeah,
little
so
shout out
fair.
to him. Right, let's think for a little bit about food, shall we? Let's come up with maybe like a top 5 or a top 10 things that you would want to eat over Christmas. We'll start with you, Emma, because you have a unique approach to Christmas.
Because I don't
As
eat
we've heard
turkey.
already.
Yeah.
Because
you don't
you're
eat
very
turkey?
strict.
Yeah.
No, I don't eat turkey. But, okay, so here's the thing. Even with a Sunday dinner, I think actually the star of the show is the veg.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. It's the best thing. So my nan's an absolutely amazing woman, and she always cooks Christmas dinner for us all, however many all is, which can be quite a lot with all our lot. That she has this thing that everyone can pick one thing
Yeah. my
for
mum
Christmas
does that.
dinner.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which means that sometimes it can get a bit random, and you know, when new people marry in, they get to bring something of their family Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a sneaky way of making sure that we all still go to her for Christmas dinner.
Yeah,
But it
perfect.
absolutely works because it's the best Christmas dinner. And my thing is like, I just really want a cauliflower cheese, and everyone thinks it's excessive on a Christmas dinner, but I don't know.
That sounds
No,
beautiful.
we have one
Christmas
every
is
year.
excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, my mum makes that every year, and sometimes
Oh.
we do cauliflower and broccoli cheese. Yeah.
Oh,
That would be good.
okay.
Naughty.
This year, my eldest is 5, and he's asking if we can have pasta cheese, like macaroni cheese.
Yeah.
I've said no, but I've got a feeling that my nan will just do what he says because that's
Yep.
what she's like. But yeah, no, all the veg, and actually having so much veg that every day for like a week afterwards you've got leftover veg.
Brilliant.
I love just going into the fridge and eating cold roast potatoes.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
the best. Why are they
Yeah.
so good? But they just are.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, you're a bit of a whiz in the kitchen. I mean, I know Kier is as well, so you guys are going to be our experts. What do you like to cook at Christmas time?
I do the Christmas dinner. I'm a cook throughout the year, but that's really the one. I'm in a bit of trouble this year because of family things going on. I initially refused to cook the Christmas dinner, and I got in serious trouble with my father-in-law, who'll be diligently listening to this episode. And
Just to
now
check
we have reconciled, and I am cooking Christmas dinner again.
Well done, Simon.
You reconciled over doing what he said.
Exactly.
That's the best
So Naomi and I are
way.
going to double team it this year. But I'm a stickler for the roast potatoes. Your roasties have got to be top notch.
Yeah.
And so I start mine the night before on my birthday because I just love doing it. You've got to parboil first. You've got to give them a really good shake so they're all really fluffy. And then the idea is to cover them in the oil then. So I go 50-50 olive oil and butter, cover them all over, tray them up, and then just chuck as much garlic as you can buy at them, with some rosemary and thyme, and then just leave them wrapped up somewhere cold overnight. And then when you put them in the oven the next day, just cook them for as long as you can till they're super, super crispy. And they're just amazing. All that garlic.
So 2 years ago,
Oh,
you directed me to what I would say is the guru of roast potatoes and said that I need to go and watch this video of the Fletchers cooking roast potatoes and said that they are the way. And you're right. They are the way.
They are
Giovanna
the way.
Fletcher, she knows her stuff.
she knows a potato.
Yeah.
She knows the way
We can
around.
put this in the show notes, can't we?
Yeah,
this-
absolutely.
Yeah, I
This
would-
episode,
I wanna
this episode's gonna have a lot of show notes.
The Fletchers absolutely perfected their potatoes over lockdown.
Yeah, they know.
Oh man.
So yeah,
Nice.
I'm a stickler for a potato, and then I'm just a snack king. I just want Bombay mix. I want cheesy, like puffs and everything. You just want to snack until you
Yeah.
drop.
Pretzels, Dave.
No,
Maybe
I like the
pretzels.
the savouries over the pretzels.
Okay.
But yeah, that your roast
And you
potatoes.
cooking a turkey this year?
Do a turkey. Probably do a crown. Normally, I like to do the full shebang and
Okay.
then make proper gravy afterwards. And if
Okay.
you use bacon, if you make a little
Yep.
griddle of
Yeah,
streaky
absolutely.
bacon on the top, you get all of that in the juice and make an amazing gravy.
Okay.
So yeah, but your roast potatoes, that's got to be the star of the show. I know Kier
Yeah,
cooks
I
as well,
agree.
so he might disagree.
So yeah, after you've had your kind of greasy spoon fry up in Swansea, what do you go for on Christmas Day?
We go for. I mean, traditionally in my family, we would have a pancake breakfast as we got a bit older.
Yeah.
So what I would do is as I said before about exercise, I would have pancake breakfast.
Yeah.
I'd go for 5K run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I'd be ready for Christmas dinner.
on Christmas.
Yeah, on Christmas Day. So I lived growing up. I lived quite close to the beach, so I could just get to the beach. It was like 2.5K there, 2.5K back, and then I was ready for like round 2. More recently, it depends on whose family we're visiting for Christmas. So my brother-in-law is also quite a big cook, and we actually share our Christmas dinner cooking. So we've already been discussing this year's plan because he makes an incredible nut roast. I mean, honestly, it is incredible. Better than the turkey that I can make, I will be honest. And that's on record now. But he also really likes to do cinnamon buns. That's kind of his family tradition. So if we come together at my wife's family, then he actually loves to carry that on, and I'm not complaining because
He seems like an excellent man.
he really is an
Yes.
excellent man.
What is he doing on the 24th of December?
He's gonna be making a nut roast for me. He prepares it the day before. So yeah, we'll kind of share the Christmas dinner cooking for the family this year. But I will say my favourite thing about Christmas food is the picky food, the party food. Primarily the cheese. That is
Yeah.
the thing for me.
Yeah.
And there's one specific cheese that spells Christmas for me, and it is blue cheese, like gorgonzola. And there's a specific brand called St. Arga. We'll put it in the show notes. We probably won't.
It's just going to be a shopping list, isn't it?
But yeah, St. Arga's blue cheese. And depending on who you're with, lots of people don't like blue cheese, which I'm okay with because there's more for me there.
Absolutely. Love
Yeah.
that.
I'm generous, but when it comes to blue cheese,
Yeah.
I'll have to get you the recipe for my aunt. She makes a blue cheese soup, a blue vinny soup, vinny soup. Sorry, and she only makes it at Christmas, and
mate.
it's absolutely amazing.
I would love
No,
that.
you're doing
please.
Christmas in Leicester this year, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
So shout out to all my friends in Leicester who every Christmas day have a pork pie for breakfast on Christmas Day.
Wow.
Pork pie.
And some of them have pork pie on toast. Okay.
Pork pie on toast.
How do you even do that?
Ooh.
Well, we'll have to ask our mutual friend who's from Leicester, won't we?
I'm
It's,
gonna find.
We're a scrambled egg and smoked salmon
Yeah.
Christmas morning breakfast.
very
people.
nice.
Very nice.
And then melon and prawns for starter Christmas dinner.
Oh,
Turkey with all the trimmings.
yeah.
It's a fairly
Do you
traditional.
in
fairly
your
standard.
in your house like? Is there like lots of people pitch in to do the cooking?
I don't think my mum has ever let anybody help her.
Okay.
At Christmas
She-
or ever.
Well, we're just talking about Christmas now. So she's the queen of the kitchen
Okay.
on Christmas Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're at the stage where it's lots of exercise as well. Exercise before
Okay.
lunch, exercise after lunch.
Yeah.
Big time.
It just feels good. Yeah, and a Christmas walk. Like a
Christmas
nice
walk, Boxing Day walk.
Boxing.
Yeah,
Boxing
Boxing
Day
Day
walk,
walk. Yeah.
Put the coat on the dog and off you go. Okay, we've not talked about anything sweet. So your Christmas pudding, Christmas cake.
So I make the Christmas cake,
You
but I
make
actually
the
don't
Christmas
like
cake,
it.
okay.
Yeah, so we have
Have you
this
started
like
making it yet?
it's done. Stir Up Sunday was ages ago. You have to have done your Christmas cake.
Stir up Sunday.
Yeah, this is a thing.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
my
no, I
grandma
didn't
does
make this
that.
up. This is a real thing.
Wow.
So it's well, I always thought it was the last Sunday in October.
Yeah.
You stir up your Christmas cake because you have to have it long enough so you can feed it
Yeah.
a lot of alcohol before Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we use my grand's recipe, and like it comes down through the family, and it's a
Wow.
really nice tradition. So my auntie and my gran used to do it together, stir up Sunday, and then after my gran passed away, me and my auntie now do it together. So like it used to be this lovely like calm little moment. I'd go to my auntie's house, we'd make a Christmas cake, and it was lovely. And now we do it with my toddler, and it is wild, but it's really nice.
Okay.
So every year we go, I just don't know if this Christmas cake is going to taste like a cake because it was made by a 2-year-old, but you know, I'm hoping for good things. How bad can it go?
Absolutely.
Just throw a load of fruit in it.
yeah.
No one will know.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing the reports. This sounds really exciting.
Last year we set my oven on fire while making it
Oh.
Okay.
because you have to cover it in
Yeah.
newspaper while you're cooking it, and put
Oh.
paper on the top because it cooks for such a long time. So you cook it for like 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
So you have to cover it, the tins and everything, so it doesn't burn. But I don't have an electric oven. I've got a gas oven, and because we were putting in a cake for me to take up to Yorkshire and one for her to take down to Devon, we had to double stack. So the paper was just a bit close to the flame,
Ooh.
and it was on like the final half hour. So it'd been in all day. Like I'd done the school run, come back, happy days. I was like, something smells a bit like burning. What is that? We went to the oven and the paper on top had caught fire. But obviously once you open the door and let all the oxygen
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like my kids' most exciting point of Christmas. They were like, we need to call Fireman Sam. The cake's on fire. The oven's on fire. Mummy's burning the house down. But, you know, it tasted fine in the end. You just put lots of extra marzipan
what
on.
happened to your house?
I don't know. They're very dramatic. They're the children of actors. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you need to tell us your best panto story in a second, actually. don't you?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Emma's going to cook Christmas cake. Now, you've talked about your Muppet Christmas Carol favourite film. What other kind of festive films would we be watching? Would we want to recommend to our faithful listeners?
Oh, I am a big fan of pre-Christmas. I'm a big fan of the Home Alone films
Yeah.
and the
Nice.
classics.
1 and 2.
1 and 2, yeah, just 1 and 2.
One and
just
two.
Don't-
clarify.
then the others
Okay.
don't
No
exist.
further.
Yeah.
But one film that never ceases to make me feel Christmassy is The Holiday Inn. I love that film. It's an old black
The
and white
old
film.
Bing Crosby
It's
movie.
Bing Crosby
yeah.
and Fred Astaire.
Yeah.
And it's just a great,
Okay.
great film. There's just something so Christmassy about it that. I just love
And
watching
it's
it.
this film where White Christmas comes from, isn't it? Is that right? Do they
Yes,
sing White
the
Christmas
song
in it?
White Christmas.
I think probably my favourite Christmas film of all time is the Santa Claus movie.
With Dudley Moore.
Dudley
Yeah.
Moore and
Yeah.
John Lithgow, absolutely. Burgess Meredith as well, if anybody's a Rocky
Yeah.
fan.
Or
Absolutely
a fan of
fantastic.
the Batman TV show from the 1960s. He played the Penguin.
Oh, did he?
Oh.
There you are. Before my time.
And my time as well.
Let's talk about generations again.
just a bit nerdy like that. Sorry.
But absolutely fantastic. I loved that film so much. We had it on VHS when I
Yeah.
was a kid. When all the Christmas decorations got put away, I would hide it away so that I could watch it again in January.
Sneaky.
So my mum would come in and I would be watching it again. So love that. Love the Tim Allen Santa Claus films. Love Home Alone. Always love a good World War II film at Christmas. They'll just be on ITV2,
Nothing
Where
better than a
Eagles
bit of
Dare,
war.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
cool.
The Great Escape. That makes
Yeah.
you feel very,
Oh,
very
that's a
Christmassy.
good one, yeah.
All those kinds of really old films that only
Yeah.
ever come out at Christmas.
Yeah. My wife was saying that they watch, they used to watch James Bond film every
Yeah.
year on Christmas.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not
Because apparently
uncommon.
there's just
Yeah.
always one on Christmas Day
Yeah.
in the evening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We're piling our way through kind of the Netflix generation now of Christmas movies like The Christmas Chronicles 1 and
Yeah,
2.
very good films.
Klaus is a very,
That's
very
a
good
good
Christmas
one. I haven't
film.
seen that yet.
Klaus
That's
is
a good
good.
Okay.
The Klaus the Postman one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I mean, massive shout out to The Star. Is a fantastic Christmas film. The story of the Nativity from the point of view of all the animals.
Yeah.
I think I took my kids to see that in the cinema when it first came out, and it's well worth getting on DVD or watching on a streaming service. That's a
become
really,
Pete's
really good
tradition,
film.
isn't it?
Yeah.
For the
We'll be
kids.
watching that as part of our Royal Nation Church Kids
We
Christmas
will
movie
be.
this year as well.
Yeah, on the Thursday before Christmas.
Oh,
Beautiful.
fantastic! Very
Mm.
exciting.
It's turned into like my eldest little school friends thing where they come to Noah's church and they sit on sofas and then they watch it on like, they think it's they think it's my husband's private cinema. I keep being like,
Absolutely. Why not?
been
Why not
saying.
think
Right.
that?
we
Why
don't
not?
actually own this building,
Why not?
guys. But they're like, yeah. So we'll go to Pete's cinema.
Brilliant.
Like, well, okay.
Great.
And they also think that if they rock up on a Sunday that they will get to sit on a sofa and eat all the popcorn. And I'm not saying no because, hey, come along on a Sunday.
Yeah,
It's possible.
absolutely.
we can't talk about Christmas songs without mentioning It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think my dad would be mortally wounded if I didn't.
Do you know, I've never seen it.
Ooh,
Did you hear the
Silence
silence
just
thing?
fell.
I know.
This is shocking.
Well, in terms of traditions, Emma, my dad watched It's a Wonderful Life every Christmas Eve I was growing up.
Oh.
So it would be on in the afternoon. So I must have seen it 10 or 12 times. And eventually he got to the point where he'd seen it so many times, we'd only watch it from the halfway point towards the end, without wanting to give anything away. But do yourself a little kindness this year and watch It's a Wonderful Life. It is absolutely brilliant.
It is a
Yeah,
great film.
people frown on me a lot when I say I haven't seen it.
We
and
didn't frown,
every
we
year-
gasped.
Yeah.
Sad for me rather than cross.
Yeah, there's no malice.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Christmas films though that I'm like, oh no, yeah, I should see that, but there just seems like no time.
Oh well, that's the other thing. Yeah, we did have a strange Christmas tradition when we were first married because we used to watch Die Hard while writing our Christmas cards, set on Christmas Eve as it is. But if I'm going to watch anything at Christmas now, I would try my best to try and watch a couple of Christmas episodes of that great American television show, The West Wing.
Oh,
Oh.
yes.
And if you've ever watched The West
Great
Wing, I
life
know quite a
choices.
few of us are fans of The West Wing. But if you've never watched The West Wing, you can kind of stream it on a couple of platforms, and there's just a couple of episodes that are set on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day,
Yeah.
and they're absolutely fantastic. And if I can slot one of those in at some point in December, I'll be a happy man. So, one of the controversial questions I often find is how early are you allowed to play Christmas music?
Ooh.
My kids were sneaking in since September.
Too early.
Too
Yes.
early.
Too
Thank you.
early.
I
It's
agree.
too early,
Would
yeah.
you like us to tell them?
How did they
I've tried.
sneak it in?
With Alexa's help.
Oh,
yeah.
see.
Alexa has a lot of time.
We generally, because we had an American lodger for a couple of years, so we would kind of say once you got past Thanksgiving, you can
Yeah,
go
nice
wild on the
choice.
Christmas.
And that's
Yeah.
good.
So of course, in some parts of the world, people do believe that Christmas is the celebration of the birth of Michael Bublé, but it's not. So other than the ubiquitous Michael Bublé Christmas album, what do you like to listen to at Christmas?
I love a bit of Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby.
Mm.
You've got to have
Yes.
them, but equally, like I am my father's daughter, so you have to listen to Slade.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
good shout.
Yeah, I mean, I really like a lot of tacky music at Christmas. It's like at music.
You're a top of the pops girl, basically.
Well, but not for most of the year.
Yeah, just at Christmas.
Christmas
time.
Top of
Yeah.
the Pops was amazing though.
Yeah.
Right. So my husband goes mad because I have like this case of Christmas CDs that live in our car, and we used to do a lot of driving because we'd be going to and from different cities for panto and for shows and stuff, and then doing the 6-hour trek to Yorkshire and back. So we get through these CDs quite a lot, but I had a rule that in December you were only allowed to listen to these 5 CDs. So yeah, all of those like top of the pops Christmas songs, all that
Yeah.
nonsense. Yeah, love it.
Very similar here, Emma. I'm remembering. Did they call them Wow It's Christmas?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we had like 2 cassettes. There was a green one and a red one, so I don't know if they were different years, but they were probably like 93, 94, something like that. So all of that good stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Jackson 5, love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I'm a traditional kind of guy. I like the Rat Pack Christmas,
Yeah.
like Frank Sinatra. Just, I mean, people's voices like that are they're just what you need to hear at that time of year.
Yeah.
And to be fair, James, you've got me on to last year, and I sent you a text, and I think this
You
Saturday.
did, my friend. Yes, you did.
So when we put up our Christmas
White
tree,
Jump Twins.
Hey, it's a special relationship.
we have a connection over this jumper and a Christmas album. Well, there's a guy called
Jump on in.
There's a guy called Leslie Odom Jr. who probably most famously, I would say he's one of the characters in Hamilton on the Broadway show.
And
He
he's
said his
in like Murder on the Orient Express and that Knives Out Glass Onion movie.
He is, yeah. And he is a phenomenal singer. And he
Phenomenal.
released a Christmas album, Leslie Odom Jr.'s Christmas album. It's just a great take on Christmas music, isn't it?
Yeah,
I love it.
I am a big Christmas music fan, so I'd have to say everyone should listen to Frank Sinatra's Christmas album.
Yeah.
Ella Fitzgerald's Christmas album, Ella
Yes.
Wishes You a Swinging Christmas, is absolutely brilliant. A Christmas Gift for You by Phil Spector from 1963 is a really, really good album. Jamie Cullum's The Piano Man at Christmas
That's good,
is
yeah,
a
that is
really,
great.
really good Christmas listen as well. I have got a list that's far too long. I won't want-
Nat King Cole, would anyone?
Nat
be-
King Cole,
Yes.
absolutely
Big
brilliant.
fan.
But
Yeah,
you have
the
to have
Christmas-
the different Christmas genres for different parts of your Christmas day, right?
Absolutely right.
So
Yeah.
like while you're sat by the tree and it's all calm and peaceful at night, that's you've got Nat King Cole on, you've got a bit
Yeah.
of Bing Crosby
Yeah.
on. But then once when it gets a bit wild in the daytime and all the kids are bouncing off the walls,
That's when you need.
yeah,
I was going to say Slade.
that's when you need Slay. That's when I'm like, breaking out Jackson 5. Like,
Yeah.
But there's one Christmas album that you guys might not have listened to it, but I would recommend you all do, and that everybody listening listens to, which is by an American singer-songwriter called Andrew Peterson. He's a Christian singer-songwriter, also a Christian author who's written the Wing Feather fantasy series.
okay.
And he wrote an entire album telling the Christmas story called Behold the Lamb of God. And it's absolutely brilliant. It tells you kind of the whole story of the Bible, the Christmas story for the Bible, right from the beginning all the way through to Jesus' birth and so forth. It's kind of an album length's worth of music, and it's absolutely amazing. And as soon as 1st of December rolls around, that goes on. I try to, and the kids get annoyed because I'll play it at least once a day, but it is both really great music, but also a fantastic telling of the Christmas story in musical form.
Ooh, nice.
So I do love all the, I love all the kind of cool top of the pops pop music as well, but there's some really great kind of Christian music out there as well, telling the Christmas story. And Andrew Peterson's Behold the Lamb of God is my number one recommendation.
Oh,
We'll definitely put
yeah,
that in the
let's
show
do that.
notes.
Yeah.
See, this
Okay.
is what's so great about so much of the Rat Pack stuff, though, isn't it? Is suddenly it becomes like really okay to be playing songs about like Jesus is born and,
Totally.
and King of
Yeah.
Peace and stuff,
Yeah.
and everyone's all right. When I was working in a cafe and I was allowed to put music on and stuff, suddenly it was fine to be playing a load of music about Prince of Peace and Come to Save the
Yeah.
World because it's sung by Frank Sinatra, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. So in my house, Christmas music comes on in December, but in those situations, I'm like, great, start of November, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, if this is suddenly going to be okay in a corporate world, this is what we're doing, guys.
Fantastic.
Excellent. Well, I think we've had a fantastic and rather exciting rambling conversation about all things Christmassy and traditional. This episode has been slightly lighter in tone and slightly kind of sillier in content than the ones we normally do, but we really hope you've enjoyed spending the last couple of minutes with us talking about Christmas. What we're going to do in our next episode, when you guys join us next week, is we're going to dive back into the kind of the origins of the Christmas story itself and talk about Jesus coming, talk about why it's so significant for us today. It really is the event that changed the whole of human history.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about what the Bible says about that story, what it means for us now, and really some of it will tie into what we've been talking about already this year on our On Mission series, because really the Christmas story, the fact that God came to earth in the person of Jesus, is what motivates all of our mission as a church.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
A very Merry
Very
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white,
Be white.
as Kier would say
Amen.
in holiday.
Unless you've got to drive a long way, in which case,
And then-
clear roads.
Yeah.
Oh, we did
clear
mention
roads.
Chris Rea, did we? But
Yeah, that's okay.
And
though.
where was he driving home to, everyone?
he was driving to Emma's favourite place, Middlesbrough.
Yay! Land of Yorkshire pudding for 3 courses of your meal.
Sorry, Pete.
See you next time, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.